Do you feel like your energy is slipping away every day and you can't figure out why? It's as if no matter how much you sleep, how much coffee you drink, or how much you try to push through, you're just exhausted. You're not alone. In fact, many of us are leaking energy in ways we don't even realize. We think it's just part of getting older, or that we're just stressed. But what if the real reason behind your fatigue isn't what you think? What if it's not just about a lack of sleep, or the demands of life? What if the true cause is something far deeper, more subtle, and possibly even preventable? In this video, I'm going to uncover the hidden reasons why you might be feeling drained and exhausted all the time. These are the quiet culprits, stealing your energy without you even noticing. By the end of this video, you'll understand where your energy is really going, and most importantly, what you can do about it. Trust me, the solutions might surprise you. So stay tuned, and let's find out if your energy is leaking somewhere you didn't expect. Let's dive in. Let's start with one of the most overlooked culprits when it comes to energy loss: your environment. Most of us don't give a second thought to the spaces we inhabit, but the truth is, your surroundings can drain your energy more than you might realize. Think about it. How many times have you walked into a room and immediately felt either energized or, on the flip side, completely drained? Our environments have a direct impact on our mental and physical state, and this influence can drain energy without us even noticing it. Have you ever walked into a cluttered room and felt a little more anxious or found it harder to concentrate? That's not just your mind playing tricks on you, it's your environment leaking energy from you. It's easy to think of your environment as just the backdrop to your life, but it plays a far more critical role than you might imagine. Whether it's a cluttered desk, an overly noisy space, or a room that's too hot or cold, every little detail chips away at your ability to focus and function at your best. Clutter, for example, not only makes it harder to find things, but it also triggers stress in your brain. Your brain is constantly processing everything around you, and when there's a mess, it has to work harder, causing mental fatigue. It's like running a marathon in a room full of distraction. This mental exhaustion translates into physical tiredness, making it harder for you to keep up with your daily tasks. That pile of clothes or those scattered papers may seem insignificant, but they're silently draining you. Then there's the noise factor. Whether it's the sound of traffic outside, the hum of air conditioning, or people talking in the next room, persistent noise can be a constant drain on your energy. Even if you don't consciously notice it, your brain is always processing sounds, and when there's a lot of noise, your brain has to work overtime. This overwork leads to mental fatigue, and eventually physical exhaustion. It's not just about being annoyed by the noise, it's about how your brain has to focus and filter out unnecessary sounds, which uses up valuable energy that could be directed elsewhere. And what about temperature? How many of us have found ourselves sluggish or irritable when the room is too hot or too cold? The temperature of your environment can significantly affect your body's ability to function optimally. When it's too hot, your body expends more energy trying to cool down, making you feel tired or even sluggish. On the other hand, if it's too cold, your body burns more calories to stay warm, which also drains your energy. The ideal temperature varies from person to person, but it's important to find that sweet spot where you feel comfortable, alert, and focused. Another aspect of your environment that can have a huge impact on your energy is the lighting. Bright, harsh lighting or dim, inadequate lighting can both contribute to a feeling of tiredness. Natural light is the best, as it helps regulate your circadian rhythm and boosts your mood and focus. But when we're constantly exposed to artificial lighting, especially from screens, it disrupts our natural sleep cycle and leaves us feeling exhausted, even when we've had enough rest. In fact, the blue light from screens can confuse your brain into thinking it's daytime, making it harder for you to wind down at night. All of these elements, the clutter, the noise, the temperature, and the lighting, are small but significant contributors to your energy level. They work silently in the background, stealing your focus and mental clarity without you even realizing it. This doesn't mean you need to overhaul your entire home or office, but making small adjustments can make a world of difference. Start by decluttering your space. Clear out unnecessary items that you no longer need, and organize the things that are important to you. It might seem like a simple task, but clearing the clutter can help clear your mind too. Next, consider the noise levels in your environment. If you can, add some noise-canceling features, whether it's noise-canceling headphones, white noise machines, or soundproofing your space. The less your brain has to focus on unnecessary noise, the more energy you'll have for the things that truly matter. You might also want to take a closer look at the temperature in your environment. Is your room too hot, too cold? Try adjusting the thermostat or using fans, space heaters, or blankets to create a more comfortable environment that suits you. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of light. Try to bring in more natural light during the day, and in the evening, make sure you're reducing your exposure to artificial blue light from screens. This can help regulate your sleep patterns and keep you feeling more energized throughout the day. When you make these adjustments, you'll be amazed at how much more focused and energized you feel. The environment you spend time in has a much bigger impact on your energy than you might realize. And the best part, these changes are simple and easy to implement. They're small tweaks, but they can lead to a massive shift in how you feel throughout the day. Pay attention to your environment and notice where it's draining your energy. The more intentional you are about curating your space to support your well-being, the more energy you'll have to focus on the things that truly matter. Remember, energy leaks from the places you least expect, and your environment is a big part of that. Now, let's talk about one of the most insidious energy drains that many of us don't even notice: stress. You might think stress only affects you when you're facing a big deadline or dealing with a crisis, but the truth is, stress can leak energy from your system in much quieter, subtle ways. The kind of stress that doesn't make headlines, but still leaves you feeling drained and overwhelmed. Chronic low-level stress, whether it's worry about the future, constant pressure at work, or even the stress of keeping up with everyday tasks, can quietly deplete your mental and physical energy over time. It's like a leaky faucet, dripping away your energy drop by drop until you barely notice how much has been drained. The first thing to understand is how stress affects your body. Stress triggers your body's fight-or-flight response, a natural reaction designed to help you deal with immediate danger. When you face stress, your body releases hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones are meant to give you a burst of energy to deal with a threat. But in modern life, most of us aren't facing physical danger. We're facing deadlines, family issues, and the constant demands of modern life. That constant state of heightened alertness can cause your body to remain in this fight-or-flight mode longer than necessary, leaving you feeling exhausted, tense, and mentally drained. What's worse, this constant state of alertness can also negatively impact your immune system, your digestion, and even your heart. Chronic stress weakens your body's natural defenses, making it harder to fight off illness, and it can lead to health issues like high blood pressure, digestive problems, and even heart disease. Over time, this takes a serious toll on your energy levels. On a mental level, stress also has a significant impact. It's not just about the physical symptoms, it's also about the mental fatigue that comes from constant worry and pressure. Stress, especially chronic stress, can cloud your thinking, making it harder to focus and concentrate. You might feel mentally foggy, or find it difficult to stay on task, even with simple things. The mental exhaustion that comes from chronic stress can make it feel like your brain is constantly in overdrive, but you're not getting anywhere. It's the mental equivalent of running on a treadmill, working hard, but getting nowhere. Your ability to make decisions, plan, and solve problems becomes impaired. This not only takes a toll on your work life, but also your personal life. You might find it harder to engage with loved ones, or focus on things you enjoy because your mind is preoccupied with worries. This mental drain contributes directly to your physical energy loss. In other words, your mind is constantly pulling energy from your body, leaving you feeling depleted. So how do you stop stress from quietly stealing your energy? The first step is to recognize when stress is affecting you. It's easy to brush off feelings of anxiety or pressure as just part of life, but the truth is, stress is cumulative. Over time, even low-level stress adds up and can take a significant toll. Start by checking in with yourself regularly. Ask yourself, am I carrying any unnecessary stress with me today? Is there something on my mind that's sapping my focus and energy? Once you've identified stress as the culprit, it's time to take action. The best way to counteract stress is to build healthy coping mechanisms. One of the most effective ways to do this is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being fully present in the moment, without judgment. It's a powerful tool for reducing stress, because it helps you step out of the cycle of constant worry. When you practice mindfulness, you bring your attention back to the here and now, which reduces the mental strain of overthinking and worrying about the future. It doesn't require long hours of meditation either. Simple practices, like taking 5 deep breaths when you're feeling overwhelmed, can help you reset your mind and body. Another essential tool for managing stress is physical exercise. It may sound counterintuitive. After all, isn't exercise already taxing on the body? But the truth is, regular physical activity is one of the most effective ways to manage and reduce stress. When you exercise, your body releases endorphins, chemicals that help improve your mood and reduce feelings of anxiety. Even just a short walk or a quick workout can help you burn off excess stress and restore your energy. Getting outside and moving your body is an instant stress reliever, and over time, it helps you build resilience against stress. Rest and sleep also play a crucial role in managing stress. Chronic stress often disrupts sleep patterns, which only fuels the cycle of exhaustion. Prioritize getting enough rest each night. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep to allow your body to recover and recharge. Sleep is essential for restoring both physical and mental energy. You also need to give yourself permission to take breaks. Life can often feel like it's go, 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 but the truth is, you need time to recharge. Whether it's taking a short walk, enjoying a hobby, or simply doing nothing for a few minutes, taking breaks is essential for maintaining energy. It's not about avoiding work or responsibilities. It's about creating space for yourself so that you don't burn out. Setting boundaries with yourself and others is another powerful tool for managing stress. If you find yourself overwhelmed with tasks, learn to say no when necessary. It's okay to decline requests or let go of activities that drain you. Protecting your energy means protecting your mental and physical well-being. If you don't manage stress, it will continue to steal your energy without you even realizing it. So start paying attention to how stress shows up in your life, and take action to address it. Whether it's through mindfulness, exercise, sleep, or setting boundaries, there are simple but effective ways to reduce stress and stop it from draining your energy. Remember, stress doesn't have to be a constant part of your life. With the right tools, you can regain control and start feeling more energized and focused. And the best part, the more you manage stress, the less power it will have over your energy. Now let's talk about one of the most important factors that could be draining your energy without you even realizing it: your sleep. You might think that getting enough rest is just about lying down for a few hours and waiting for the night to pass. But the reality is that how well you sleep, how deeply and consistently you rest, plays a huge role in how much energy you have throughout the day. Sleep is not just a passive activity, it's an active process that's crucial for your physical, mental, and emotional health. When your sleep quality is poor, everything in your life starts to feel harder. Your energy feels drained, your mood dips, and your ability to focus and think clearly diminishes. But here's the kicker. The effects of bad sleep are often gradual, sneaking up on you until one day you realize that you're feeling exhausted all the time, even though you're spending hours in bed. So what exactly happens when your sleep isn't as restorative as it should be? First off, it's important to understand that sleep is made up of several stages, and these stages all play different roles in restoring your body. When you fall asleep, you cycle through lighter stages of sleep, and eventually you reach deep sleep and REM sleep, stages that are essential for physical recovery, memory consolidation, and emotional regulation. In deep sleep, your body works on repairing muscles, tissues, and cells, and it also releases important hormones like growth hormone and testosterone. If you're not getting enough deep sleep, your body doesn't have the time it needs to repair itself, which means you wake up feeling stiff, tired, and sluggish. But it's not just your body that suffers from poor sleep, it's also your brain. REM sleep is when your brain processes emotions and stores memories. If you're not getting enough REM sleep, your brain doesn't have the chance to make the connections it needs, leading to fogginess, forgetfulness, and difficulty thinking clearly. You might find yourself struggling to focus or remembering things that you normally wouldn't forget. But even if you're getting the right amount of sleep, it's not just about the quantity, it's also about the quality. If your sleep is frequently interrupted or restless, it's just as bad, if not worse, than not sleeping at all. Waking up in the middle of the night, tossing and turning, or having trouble falling back to sleep disrupts these important cycles and leaves you feeling exhausted in the morning. Think about the last time you woke up after a restless night. How did you feel? Chances are you were groggy, irritable, and not ready to face the day. Your brain didn't have the chance to go through all the necessary processes during the night, and now you're paying the price. So why do so many of us struggle with sleep? There are many reasons, and it's not just about the amount of time we spend in bed. One common issue is sleep apnea. This is a condition where your breathing is interrupted throughout the night, preventing you from reaching the deeper stages of sleep. It's often unnoticed by the person who suffers from it, but it can be incredibly draining. If you wake up frequently throughout the night gasping for air or feeling like you've never really rested, you might be dealing with sleep apnea. Other factors like stress, anxiety, poor sleep hygiene, and even an overactive mind can also prevent you from getting the deep, restorative sleep you need. But the good news is that poor sleep doesn't have to be permanent. There are steps you can take to improve the quality of your sleep, and as a result, your overall energy levels. The first step is recognizing the importance of a good sleep routine. Having a consistent sleep schedule is key. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This helps regulate your internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up naturally. It may feel tough at first, but your body will thank you for sticking to a schedule. Another important factor is your sleep environment. Make sure your bedroom is set up for optimal sleep. That means a cool, dark, and quiet space. Keep your room free of distractions like electronic devices, as the blue light emitted from screens can mess with your circadian rhythm and make it harder for you to fall asleep. If you struggle with falling asleep, consider implementing a pre-sleep routine to calm your body and mind. This could include activities like reading a book, practicing deep breathing, or listening to soothing music. Doing so helps your brain associate certain activities with rest and signals that it's time to wind down. Sleep hygiene is another crucial element to consider. This involves the habits you have during the day that can either help or hurt your ability to fall asleep at night. For example, try to avoid caffeine or alcohol late in the day, as these substances can interfere with your sleep cycle. Instead, focus on building habits that promote better sleep, like getting natural light exposure in the morning, or limiting heavy meals before bedtime. One of the best things you can do to improve your sleep quality is to get regular exercise. Physical activity during the day helps regulate your sleep cycle and promotes deeper, more restorative sleep at night. But keep in mind that while exercise is great for sleep, try not to exercise too close to bedtime, as it can leave you feeling energized and make it harder to wind down. If you're still waking up tired despite making these changes, it may be time to consider other sleep disorders that could be affecting your rest. For example, if you frequently wake up gasping for air or snoring loudly, it's worth discussing with a doctor to rule out sleep apnea. Or if you find yourself unable to shut off your thoughts, making it hard to fall asleep, cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, can help train your brain to better manage sleep-related anxiety. Good sleep is about quality just as much as it is about quantity, and taking the time to prioritize your sleep can make a massive difference in your energy levels. It's easy to push sleep to the side when life gets busy. But if you don't give your body the time it needs to rest and recover, you'll end up burning out. So commit to improving your sleep routine, create a restful environment, and take steps to address any sleep disruption. Once you do, you'll notice a remarkable shift in your energy levels. Your body and brain will be fully recharged, and you'll have the clarity, focus, and stamina to tackle anything that comes your way. When you focus on getting restorative sleep, you give yourself the best chance to feel energized, healthy, and capable of taking on the world. Now let's dive into another hidden energy drain, your eating habits. You might be surprised to hear that the food you consume can either fuel your body and mind or slowly drain your energy. A lot of people think they're eating enough or they believe they're eating the right foods, but the reality is that many of us are unknowingly consuming things that are robbing us of our energy, leading us to feel sluggish and fatigued throughout the day. So what's going on here? It all starts with what you put into your body and how it processes it. The foods you eat have a direct impact on your blood sugar levels. When you eat high sugar, highly processed foods, your blood sugar spikes quickly, giving you a burst of energy. But that burst is short-lived and it's followed by a sharp crash, leaving you feeling more tired than before. This is one of the most common reasons people feel drained during the day. They eat foods that give them a quick fix of energy, but it's followed by a major energy slump. Think about the last time you had a sugary snack, like a candy bar or a soda. How did you feel afterward? You might have felt a quick burst of energy, but soon after, you probably started to feel more tired, irritable, or sluggish. This happens because the body is quickly burning through that sugar, leaving you feeling depleted. On the other hand, when you eat balanced meals that are rich in whole grains, lean proteins, healthy fats, and fiber, your body is able to process the food more steadily. This steady release of energy helps maintain your blood sugar levels, providing you with sustained energy throughout the day. But it's not just about what you eat, it's also about when you eat. Skipping meals or waiting too long between meals can cause your blood sugar to dip, leading to fatigue and a lack of focus. If you've ever skipped lunch or had a late dinner, you've probably felt your energy drop and your mood shift. This happens because your body has been running on empty, and without that steady supply of nutrients, it starts to feel tired and sluggish. To maintain consistent energy, it's important to eat at regular intervals. You don't have to eat massive meals, but small balanced meals or snacks throughout the day can keep your energy levels stable. This doesn't mean you need to follow some rigid diet plan. It's about finding a healthy eating pattern that works for you. Another major factor in your energy levels is hydration. Dehydration is one of the easiest ways to feel fatigued and mentally sluggish, but it's also one of the most overlooked. Many people don't drink enough water throughout the day, and don't even realize that they're dehydrated. Our bodies are made up of around 60% water, and water is essential for almost every function in the body, including energy production. When you're dehydrated, your body has to work harder to perform basic tasks, and that extra effort takes a toll on your energy level. Dehydration can lead to headaches, poor concentration, irritability, and a feeling of overall sluggishness. And it doesn't just affect your physical energy, it can affect your mental energy as well. You may find it harder to focus, think clearly, or remember things when you're dehydrated. So how do you avoid this? Start by paying attention to how much water you're drinking throughout the day. A good rule of thumb is to drink at least 8 8-ounce glasses of water a day, but if you're active, you might need even more. Keep a water bottle with you so you can take sips throughout the day, especially if you're busy or on the go. But hydration isn't just about water, it's also about the types of drinks you're consuming. If you drink a lot of caffeinated beverages like coffee or energy drinks, you might be temporarily boosting your energy, but you're also depleting your body's resources. Caffeine is a stimulant, and while it can give you a quick pick-me-up, it can also leave you feeling drained when the effects wear off. Moreover, caffeine can disrupt your sleep, especially if consumed later in the day, which in turn affects your energy levels the following day. What's more, sugary drinks like soda and fruit juices may give you that quick sugar rush, but don't provide the same long-lasting energy that water, herbal teas, or even a glass of unsweetened iced tea can. A good way to boost your energy while staying hydrated is to choose drinks that help you feel refreshed, without the sugar or caffeine crash. Herbal teas, infused water with lemon or cucumber, or even coconut water are great alternatives that can hydrate and nourish your body. Now let's address a more subtle but still powerful factor in your energy levels: your relationship with food. It's easy to forget that what we eat doesn't just affect our physical health, it also impacts our mental and emotional health. Emotional eating, where we turn to food for comfort during stressful times or difficult emotions, can lead to a cycle of energy depletion. When we eat to numb or escape feelings, we don't just take in empty calories, we also take on emotional weight. This leads to guilt, shame, or regret after eating, which in turn drains our mental energy. Over time, emotional eating can create a constant cycle of energy depletion that's hard to break. The key to breaking this cycle is learning to recognize emotional triggers and finding healthier ways to cope with stress or difficult emotions. Practicing mindful eating can help you become more aware of how food is making you feel, both physically and emotionally. By paying attention to how you're feeling before, during, and after meals, you can start to make choices that nourish your body and mind rather than depleting them. Lastly, let's talk about the impact of food choices on long-term energy. Some foods are nutrient-dense and fuel your body for sustained energy, while others may provide temporary satisfaction, but leave you feeling drained in the long run. For example, fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and lean proteins provide your body with the vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats it needs to maintain energy. On the other hand, processed foods that are high in refined sugars and unhealthy fats may give you a quick burst of energy but ultimately lead to crashes. Over time, consistently choosing the latter can lead to fatigue, irritability, and a general feeling of sluggishness. The good news: it's never too late to start making healthier choices. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight, but small changes like adding more whole foods and cutting back on processed sugars can make a big difference in how you feel. Incorporating more water and making sure you're eating balanced meals throughout the day will help your energy levels stay steady and consistent. So take a moment to think about your eating habits and hydration. Are you fueling your body for sustained energy, or are you relying on quick fixes that leave you crashing later? The choice is yours, and the impact on your energy levels will be immediate and lasting. Now let's talk about something that many of us struggle with, but often overlook as a major energy drain: overworking and the lack of rest. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to fall into the trap of pushing yourself too hard, thinking that the more you do, the more productive you'll be. But in reality, working constantly without enough downtime or rest only leaves you more exhausted and less effective in the long run. The first thing to understand here is the difference between being busy and being productive. It's easy to confuse the two, but they're not the same. Just because you're busy, running around and ticking things off your to-do list, doesn't mean you're actually accomplishing your most important goals. In fact, often the opposite is true. When you work non-stop, you wear down your mental and physical energy, and you're left with little room for creativity, strategic thinking, or even simple decision-making. Overworking without rest can lead to burnout, which is a state of chronic physical and mental exhaustion. It's not just about feeling tired at the end of the day, it's about feeling like you're running on empty all the time, with no real recovery. Burnout makes it hard to focus, drains your motivation, and leaves you feeling like you're stuck in a cycle that's impossible to break. Your body is designed to work in cycles, and rest is just as important as the work itself. It's not about working longer hours, it's about working smarter. That means knowing when to take breaks, when to step away, and when to give yourself a moment to reach. Unfortunately, many people have been conditioned to believe that rest is for the weak or lazy. But the truth is, rest is an essential part of the equation for maintaining energy and performing at your best. Without enough rest, your brain can't function optimally, and your body can't recover from the physical exertion of the day. When you skip rest, you're essentially running on fumes, and your productivity will decrease over time. Your focus slips, your attention wanes, and your performance drops. This is why taking regular breaks is so important. Short breaks throughout the day help you reset and recharge. It might feel counterintuitive to stop working when you're busy, but the truth is, even just a 5-minute break can make a huge difference. Stepping away from your desk, going for a short walk, or practicing some deep breathing can help refresh your mind and body, making you more focused and productive when you return to work. But it's not just about taking breaks during the day. Rest is also about knowing when to disconnect completely. One of the biggest issues today is the pressure to always be available, whether it's for work emails, phone calls, or social media notifications. The constant barrage of demands for your attention makes it hard to rest. You might tell yourself that you'll just check one more email, or scroll through social media for a few minutes, but those little distractions quickly add up and prevent you from truly disconnecting. Without true downtime, your body and mind never get the opportunity to rest properly. This is why it's so important to set boundaries around your work and personal life. If you're constantly checking emails or working late into the night, you're not giving your brain the time it needs to reset. Setting clear work hours, turning off notifications, and scheduling time for yourself can help you create healthy boundaries that support your well-being. Another important aspect of rest is sleep. As we discussed earlier, sleep is essential for recovery, but it's also a critical factor in preventing burnout. Lack of sleep worsens the effects of overwork, leaving you feeling even more drained and unfocused the next day. That's why it's crucial to make sleep a priority. Aim for at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night, and make sure your sleep environment is conducive to rest. This means no screens right before bed, a cool and dark room, and a routine that helps signal to your brain that it's time to wind down. It's also important to remember that rest isn't just about physical recovery, it's also about mental recovery. Downtime helps your brain process emotions, thoughts, and experience. Without this time, you can easily become overwhelmed or mentally fatigued, making it harder to handle stress, make decisions, and even interact with others. Mental rest is just as important as physical rest. Taking time to engage in activities that allow you to relax your mind, such as reading a book, meditating, or spending time in nature, can help restore your mental energy. Finally, let's talk about the importance of saying no. Many people take on too much because they feel obligated or want to be helpful. But constantly saying yes, even to things you don't have time for or that drain your energy, can quickly lead to exhaustion. Learning to say no, whether it's to extra work, social obligations, or anything else, is an essential skill for maintaining your energy. It's about recognizing that you can't do everything, and that it's okay to prioritize your own well-being. Saying no doesn't mean you're being selfish. It means you're taking care of yourself so that you can be more present and effective when it matters most. When you create space for rest, set boundaries, and learn to say no, you'll find that your energy levels increase, your focus sharpens, and your overall well-being improves. Remember, you're not a machine. Your body and mind need time to recover, and if you neglect that need, you're only setting yourself up for burnout. So start making rest a priority in your life. Schedule breaks, disconnect when you can, and take time to truly reach. The more you prioritize rest, the more energy you'll have to give to the things that truly matter. Let's now talk about something that's often overlooked, but has a massive impact on your energy. Toxic relationships. Whether it's a family member, friend, romantic partner, or even a colleague, relationships that drain you emotionally are like energy leeches. You might not even realize how much they're affecting you until you step back and truly assess how you feel after spending time with certain people. Toxic relationships are those that leave you feeling exhausted, drained, or even worse, unworthy. These kinds of relationships are emotionally taxing, often involving constant conflict, negativity, or a one-sided dynamic, where you give more than you receive. Over time, these emotional drains can sap your energy, leaving you feeling mentally and physically worn out. But how do these toxic relationships impact your energy? For one, they keep your mind in a constant state of stress. If you're always worried about how someone might react, walking on eggshells or trying to please them, your body and mind are always in a state of high alert. This takes a toll on your energy reserves. You might think you're just helping or being supportive, but in reality, you're emotionally expending yourself without ever receiving anything in return. And that constant emotional labor can make it feel impossible to reach. The most dangerous part of toxic relationships is the subtle way they affect your self-worth. When you're constantly being criticized, belittled, or ignored, you start to question your value. You may start feeling like you're never enough, which can lead to anxiety, depression, and a lack of motivation. Over time, this mental exhaustion doesn't just affect your emotions, it affects your physical energy too. Feeling emotionally depleted can lead to physical symptoms like fatigue, headaches, and even muscle tension. Your body is directly impacted by your emotional well-being. If you're constantly drained by these toxic relationships, your body responds with stress-induced symptoms that leave you too tired to function at your best. So how do you protect your energy from toxic relationships? The first step is to recognize when a relationship is draining you. This can be tough because sometimes these people have been in your life for a long time, or they may be family, which can make it feel like you have no choice but to continue engaging. But remember, your mental and emotional health is just as important as any other aspect of your life. Setting boundaries is crucial. If someone is constantly negative, manipulative, or hurtful, it's okay to limit the time you spend with them or distance yourself entirely. Establishing boundaries means saying no to behaviors that make you feel drained or unimportant. It's about protecting your energy and ensuring you have the space to maintain your well-being. Sometimes cutting ties with toxic people is necessary, but it's important to do so with compassion for yourself. You don't have to tolerate emotional drain for the sake of others. Lastly, make time for relationships that lift you up, those that bring you joy, positivity, and encouragement. When you surround yourself with people who genuinely care for you, who support you, and who make you feel valued, your energy levels are naturally replenished. These are the relationships that help you recharge and maintain a healthy balance in your life. Toxic relationships are a silent but powerful energy drain. They might be difficult to spot at first, but once you recognize how they impact your emotional and physical energy, you can take steps to protect yourself. Don't let anyone rob you of your vitality. Protect your energy by nurturing the relationships that truly matter, and let go of those that only leave you drained. Let's now focus on something that many of us underestimate as a drain on our energy: our mindset. The way we think and perceive the world around us plays a huge role in how much energy we have to get through the day. A negative, self-defeating mindset can silently zap your energy, leaving you feeling exhausted without ever really doing anything physical. One of the most significant ways that mindset drains energy is through constant negative thinking. If you're always worried about the worst-case scenario, overthinking situations, or ruminating on past mistakes, you're unknowingly draining your energy reserves. Constant worry and anxiety demand a lot of mental energy. Your brain is working overtime, trying to figure out problems that aren't necessarily there or imagining scenarios that may never happen. This constant mental strain not only keeps you stuck in a cycle of stress, but also leaves you feeling drained, even if you haven't physically done much. A negative mindset also feeds into self-doubt and feelings of inadequacy. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you can't handle challenges, or that success is out of your reach, your body starts to believe it. Self-doubt leads to inaction and avoidance, both of which deplete your energy. When you don't believe in your ability to succeed or handle obstacles, you avoid doing things that could help you move forward. This avoidance leads to frustration, which only makes the energy drain worse. So how do you break free from this cycle of negative thinking and self-doubt? The first step is becoming aware of how you think. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. Are you constantly putting yourself down, doubting your abilities, or assuming the worst? Once you become aware of these thoughts, you can begin to challenge them. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, start focusing on what could go right. Ask yourself, what's the best case scenario here, or what would I tell a friend who's feeling this way? Reframing negative thoughts into more positive and realistic ones can make a significant difference in your overall energy. Another powerful way to shift your mindset is through gratitude. It's easy to get caught up in what's not going right in your life, but focusing on what you're grateful for can completely change your energy. Start or end each day by listing 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how small they seem. Gratitude helps you rewire your brain to focus on the positive and shifts your mindset toward abundance instead of lack. Lastly, cultivating a growth mindset is crucial for maintaining positive energy. People with a growth mindset believe that they can improve through effort, learning, and perseverance. They see challenges as opportunities to grow, not as when you approach life with a growth mindset, you're more likely to stay motivated, take action, and keep pushing forward, even when things get tough. This not only helps you conserve energy, but also creates more energy through your own sense of progress. In conclusion, your mindset is one of the most powerful tools you have to either fuel or drain your energy. If you're stuck in a cycle of negative thinking, self-doubt, and worry, you're using up valuable energy that could be better spent on living a fulfilling and positive life. By shifting your mindset, challenging negative thoughts, practicing gratitude, and adopting a growth mindset, you can stop mental exhaustion in its tracks and start feeling more energized and empowered. Your energy is precious, and when you protect your mindset, you're protecting your vitality. Now let's talk about one of the most powerful energy drains that you may not even be aware of: the clutter in your life. When we think about energy leaks, we often look for obvious culprits like poor sleep, stress, or unhealthy habits. But there's a hidden factor that can be just as draining: clutter. Clutter is more than just physical mess in your home. It extends to your mental space, your digital life, and even your emotional world. The clutter you surround yourself with can have a profound effect on your energy, and if you're not careful, it can silently drain you day after day. The first area where clutter saps your energy is your physical environment. Think about it. When you walk into a space that's messy or disorganized, what's your immediate reaction? Most people feel a sense of overwhelm or stress. The sight of too many things out of place or piles of stuff waiting to be dealt with can weigh you down. It can make you feel like there's always something you should be doing or fixing, even if you're not actively working on it. That lingering sense of unfinished business takes up mental energy and keeps you from fully relaxing or focusing on other tasks. What's worse is that physical clutter can make you feel stuck. When your surroundings are disorganized, it's harder to think clearly and make decisions. It's as if your environment is reflecting the chaos in your mind. You might find yourself wasting time looking for things you can't find, or feeling distracted and unable to focus on important tasks because your environment keeps pulling your attention in multiple directions. This constant pulling of your focus makes it difficult to be productive or present in the moment, and over time it can lead to a significant drain on your energy. But the impact of clutter isn't just limited to your home or workspace. It also extends to your mental clutter. Mental clutter is when your mind is cluttered with too many thoughts, worries, and to-dos. When your brain is constantly juggling multiple tasks or trying to process unaddressed emotions, it becomes mentally exhausting. You may find yourself struggling to focus, making poor decisions, or feeling overwhelmed by the simplest tasks because your mind is too full. Mental clutter is the result of overthinking, worrying, and leaving unresolved issues to pile up. And just like physical clutter, it can drain your energy over time. One of the most important things to realize is that mental clutter doesn't just stem from work-related stress or unresolved problems. It also comes from the constant barrage of information we're exposed to in today's world. From social media notifications to news updates, our minds are constantly being bombarded with new data, and it's easy for that information overload to leave us feeling mentally fatigued. When you're constantly consuming information, whether it's on your phone or computer, it can lead to decision fatigue, making it harder to focus on what truly matters. It's also important to address digital clutter. Most people don't realize how much energy is drained by the overwhelming number of digital distractions in our lives. Unorganized files, endless email chains, and notifications from social media can create a sense of constant busyness. Every time your phone pings or you receive a new email, it pulls your focus away from what you were doing. Over time, this can lead to a sense of exhaustion, as your attention is constantly being divided. Digital clutter also contributes to mental clutter. The more disorganized your digital world is, the harder it becomes to find what you need when you need it. This constant hunting for files or trying to clear out unnecessary emails can eat up your time and energy. So how do you deal with all this clutter? The first step is to start decluttering your physical environment. Begin by picking one space at a time, whether it's your desk, your kitchen, or your closet, and start removing things you no longer need or use. It's not just about cleaning up, it's about creating a space that supports your well-being and energy. When your space is organized and free from distractions, you'll feel lighter, more focused, and more energized. The process of decluttering also gives you a sense of control over your environment, which can help reduce feelings of overwhelm. Once you've tackled your physical clutter, it's time to address your mental clutter. One of the most effective ways to do this is through mindfulness practice. Mindfulness is about being present in the moment, without judgment. When you practice mindfulness, you're able to quiet your mind and focus on what's important. This can be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to breathe deeply and clear your mind. Journaling is another great tool for releasing mental clutter. By writing down your thoughts and feelings, you allow yourself to process them in a healthy way, preventing them from building up and overwhelming you. Setting aside specific times during the day to check emails and social media can also help reduce digital clutter. This allows you to take control over when and how you engage with technology, instead of letting it control your time and attention. Another powerful way to deal with mental clutter is through the act of letting go, whether it's past regrets, grudges, or unmet expectations. Holding on to emotional clutter can weigh you down. Learning to forgive both yourself and others can free up a lot of mental energy. Holding on to negative emotions takes up valuable space in your mind, and letting go of them creates room for more positive, focused thoughts. Lastly, one of the most effective strategies for dealing with clutter, both physical and mental, is to develop a routine. When you create consistent habits, you reduce the mental load of making decisions about when and how to tackle certain tasks. For example, set aside time each week to clean and organize your living space, and set boundaries for when you check emails or social media. A routine helps you stay on top of things so they don't pile up, and it ensures that you're proactively dealing with clutter, rather than letting it slowly drain your energy. Clutter, whether it's physical, mental, or digital, can have a sneaky and significant impact on your energy. It pulls your focus away from what's important, leaving you mentally and physically drained. But the good news is that once you become aware of how clutter affects your life, you can take proactive steps to clear it away. By decluttering your space, organizing your digital life, and letting go of mental and emotional clutter, you can create a more peaceful, energized environment for yourself. And as you clear away the things that no longer serve you, you'll find that your energy, focus, and productivity naturally increase. As we've explored in this video, there are many hidden energy drains in our lives that we often overlook or take for granted, whether it's the way we eat, the relationships we hold on to, or even the way we allow clutter to accumulate in our homes and minds. These unseen factors can slowly but surely take a toll on our vitality. But the good news is, each one of these energy drains is something you have control over. Recognizing these drains is the first step in reclaiming your energy, and taking action to address them can dramatically shift how you feel on a daily basis. So, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've discussed, and really think about what changes you can make to improve your energy levels starting today. First, let's talk about sleep. It's easy to forget just how crucial rest is, especially in our busy lives where so much of our time is spent working, socializing, and staying on the go. But remember, sleep isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. Without quality sleep, your body and mind can't function at their best. Your muscles won't recover, your mind won't process memories and emotions properly, and your energy will deplete. Prioritizing your sleep can change everything, from how you feel when you wake up to how you tackle your day. Try creating a bedtime routine that encourages relaxation, cut back on caffeine, and make your sleep environment a sanctuary. With these small adjustments, you'll be amazed at how much more energy you'll have to give to everything else in your life. Then there's the impact of what we eat. So often we reach for quick, easy foods that promise a quick fix for our hunger, but fail to deliver long-lasting energy. Foods high in sugar, processed snacks, and empty calories leave us with that all-too-familiar sugar crash. Instead, focus on nutrient-dense whole food. Opt for meals with balanced portions of protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates. These choices will give you sustained energy, keep you focused, and allow your body to function at its best. Don't forget the importance of hydration either. Water is often the most overlooked aspect of maintaining energy, but staying hydrated is essential for your body's ability to operate at its full potential. If you've ever experienced that sluggish, brain-fogged feeling in the afternoon, you might be dehydrated. Keep water handy and drink consistently throughout the day to keep your energy flowing smoothly. Another significant drain is your environment, both physical and mental. We've all heard the saying, your environment is a reflection of your mind, and it couldn't be truer when it comes to energy. A messy, cluttered space leads to a cluttered mind, and this kind of environment prevents you from truly relaxing or focusing. Whether it's your bedroom, office, or kitchen, a disorganized space keeps your brain in a state of constant low-level stress, and that stress, even if it's subtle, drains your energy. Take time to declutter, organize, and create a space that supports your goals and well-being. Once your environment is cleared of unnecessary distractions, you'll find that your mental energy is less fragmented, and you can focus better on the tasks that matter most. Just as important is mental clutter, the constant stream of thoughts, worries, and to-do lists that never seem to stop. If you're constantly thinking about everything you need to do, or replaying past events in your mind, your mental energy is being drained. One of the most powerful ways to break free from this cycle is to incorporate mindfulness practices into your routine. Take time to focus on the present moment, whether it's through meditation, deep breathing, or journaling. Practicing mindfulness helps clear the mental clutter, allowing you to conserve your energy and focus on what's important. You'd be amazed at how much mental space you free up when you start living more in the present and less in the past or future. Then there's the issue of toxic relationships, which can be one of the most insidious energy drains in our lives. Whether it's a toxic work environment, a manipulative friend, or a family member who drains you emotionally, these relationships can leave you feeling depleted. You might not realize it, but the emotional labor of managing these relationships takes a toll on your energy. It's important to set boundaries and prioritize relationships that lift you up, rather than bring you down. Don't be afraid to distance yourself from people or situations that are emotionally draining. It's not about being selfish, it's about protecting your own well-being and ensuring that you have the emotional space to thrive. Similarly, our mindset plays a significant role in our energy levels. A negative, self-doubting mindset can keep you stuck in a cycle of exhaustion and discouragement. But you have the power to shift that mindset, replacing self-criticism with self-compassion, challenging negative thoughts, and focusing on what you can control, are all simple but powerful ways to increase your energy. The more you practice positive thinking, the more your energy will begin to flow naturally. Learning to manage stress is another essential skill for preserving your energy. Stress is a natural part of life, but when we don't manage it properly, it can drain us completely. Finding healthy ways to cope with stress, whether it's through exercise, hobbies, or talking to someone you trust, will keep your energy levels in check. If you're constantly in fight or flight mode, you'll find it difficult to maintain your energy over time. Learning to relax, even in stressful situations, can help you conserve your mental and physical resources. Ultimately, regaining your energy starts with taking back control over your life. The small, seemingly insignificant habits you choose to adopt every day, how you sleep, what you eat, the people you interact with, how you manage your thoughts and stress, add up to a powerful effect on your overall energy. By making small changes in each of these areas, you can stop the energy leaks and start feeling more energized, focused, and productive. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Take one step at a time, and don't get discouraged if things don't change overnight. With time and consistency, you'll begin to feel the positive impact of these adjustments in your life. Your energy is one of the most valuable resources you have. When you protect it and make conscious choices to nurture it, you unlock your full potential. So take a deep breath, look at your life, and see where those energy leaks are happening. Once you start plugging them, you'll be amazed at how much more you can accomplish, how much better you'll feel, and how much more you'll be able to give to the world around you. Thank you for joining me today. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's one energy leak you've recognized in your life? And what's one action you plan to take to address it? Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with anyone who might need to hear this message. Your support helps us continue creating content to help you live your best life. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.